I had a dream of reviewing movies, watching them all, and going so far to see what I could review.
This is where real change begins.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, he's definitely... No, he's fine.
He's good.
Well, none of it's real anyway.
Today we have Spirited. We're in the holiday season now, boys. Funny enough, I got to see this movie early before it came out, but I was so busy and tired and then just kept lacking motivation. Plus, God of War Ragnarok came out, so I could have put a review out like over a week before this film came out, but I just was like, screw it, here we are. Spirited is one of those Apple movies, so it's like a streaming film, but once a month, Regal has their mystery movie, which I caught the first one last month, which was The Greatest Beer Run Ever, which critics shat on, but I enjoyed. And now we have Spirited, which once again, critics shat on, but I enjoyed. Who directed it? Sean Anders. Sean Anders did this. Who is this guy? I don't know who the hell he is, but he does comedies like this. He's responsible for bringing us films like, if you go back far, Sex Drive back in the day. Also, That's My Boy, and both Daddy's Home and its sequel. So it was pretty decent, like comedies, right? Like the comedies you don't write home about, but the ones you're like, oh, it's a fun little watch. In case you cannot tell by the poster with their bodies and faces plastered on it, this film stars two big household names that honestly in my opinion, need no introduction or background. You have Ryan Reynolds playing, as he often does, Ryan Reynolds. This man can do other roles. I've seen him do other roles. I watched Buried. I know he can do other roles. Yet everybody loves him as Deadpool, and every character he does now is just Deadpool, and he does it well, and he's good. He's fun to watch, but I love it when actors that are actually good branch out. And also Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell's in this. I apparently people have mixed feelings about him. I don't know about all that. I love the guy. Like, he's always, no matter what I've watched him in, it's always been enjoyable, even if the movie is dog shit. It's Will Ferrell. Like, he's always just fun to watch. Is there more Hollywood talent in this? Of course, it's chocked full of people. We don't have time to get into it all. But yeah, considering the fact that I went into this it was a mystery movie, so I had no idea what it was going to be, and then boom, this showed up. For one, a little early. Weird they would do the Christmas mystery movie in November instead of December, but I guess that's when it was coming out. Also, Apple, it's weird you would release this like before Thanksgiving. This is a holiday musical. By the way, it's a musical, though you often forget it because it's like how La La Land is a musical. There aren't musical numbers throughout the entirety of the film, but they bunch them up together and space it out with film. We'll get to that in a minute. I enjoyed it. I had a really good time with this. I laughed a lot. The two leads, no shocker to absolutely no one, the two leads both have great chemistry. I don't think I've ever seen Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell together in a movie, but in their respective characters, they play off of each other very well. The whole premise is Ryan Reynolds is, as anybody, shocker, is like a business asshole, and Will Ferrell, funny enough, works for in this Santa's workshop, and he's the ghost of Christmas Present. He's just like almost like an ethereal, eternal figurehead in this organization, but he's also obviously very human and very Will Ferrell, and he's just been around for centuries, and he's trying to help redeem Ryan Reynolds, and then comedy ensues. The funniest thing about all of this is that this is all basically another retelling, albeit one that tries to be meta and says, oh, we're not actually a retelling, but it's basically a retelling of A Christmas Carol. When it comes to Christmas Carol, without question, Muppets did it best. Call it a hot take if you want. The Jim Carrey one, uncanny valley, but still fun time, but Muppets is the only one that I watch and I will unironically enjoy. Period. That's it. I think Christmas Carol is one of the most grossly readapted films that exist in our fucking history. Stop remaking this damn movie. There's some good ones out there too. Like Scrooge was good, and yes, some of the adaptations are fun and bearable. You take any animated property, ever, and that everybody can just so easily adapt it from the old source material and can make a passable, serviceable tale. But they just do it again and again and again and again, even to this day, 2022, and this movie is like acknowledges A Christmas Carol and talks about it as if it's like, oh, that's something that we're not doing here, but we're again doing Christmas Carol. I enjoyed the film, but damn it, I'm just tired of it. I can't stand this shit. But getting back to the positives, for me, I know comedy, humor, they're all very subjective. For me, a lot of the jokes land. They land well. I'm biased because I like Ryan Reynolds, I like Will Ferrell, so immediately you had me sold. Not all the jokes land. Some of them are kind of cringe. It's just how it is whenever you got adults writing humor that's trying to cater to like all ages, I guess, or trying to get like both adult and also maybe like millennial or zoomer humor. I don't know, man, but most of the jokes land, they land well. Is there some slapstick comedy? Sure, we all like Three Stooges, right? Yeah, there's some like slapstick, there's dumb jokes, there's good jokes, there's bad jokes. There's some jokes that made me laugh out loud pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie, I laughed at a lot of the jokes in this film. It landed for me, ergo it was an entertaining comedy for me. I mean, is it a masterpiece? Heavens no. Does it have its flaws that I'll get to in a minute? Oh, for sure. But overall I enjoyed it. Would I watch it seriously again? Maybe not, but I would definitely put it on while having some casual conversation with friends in the foreground. Biggest problem, this movie is too long, and you feel its length several times throughout. This film is over 2 hours. It's like a 2 hour, 7 minute, like, this could have been hour 30, hour 45. Cut off a bunch of the fat. You could have gotten this down sub 2 hours easily, and it still would have been just as good. I thought it was charming that they cast some actors in this that are all great actors, but they definitely aren't the best singers in the world, and they gave them their own full-blown musical numbers. It's human, it's charming, but at the same time it is noticeable, and it does detract a little bit from the film. I like it because it's not typically what you would see from a film like this, and you wouldn't normally see Hollywood allow that. So I respect the film for doing what it wanted to do, but Will Ferrell can only just sing, and you can definitely tell how the songs go from being a song to basically spoken poetry, and just those spoken songs where it's I know I can't sing well, so if I had to start singing, it would devolve from la to more and then I knew what it had to be. I knew that I had to change, try to hit a note here and there, but keep it a lot of just keep it wordy. That's what this film did a lot. I mean, that's pretty much all the complaints that I have. I mean, that's all that drags the film down. Runtime, marketed kind of as a musical, but it's not a musical through and through. There were times where I forgot I was watching a musical, and then someone started kind of sort of singing again, and I was like, oh shit, I am watching a musical right now, aren't I? This one had several songs. This one was definitely trying to be a musical, but again, I don't know if you need to bring Lin-Manuel Miranda in here, but there was some fun moments, there was some fun songs, there were some decent songs, but overall, it was just people that mostly couldn't sing too terribly well, just having a good time. Overall, this film has more positives than it does negatives. People are shitting on it, and I don't think they need to be. Is it a masterpiece? No, but I think it's fun. I think it's pretty funny. If you don't like Ryan Reynolds or Will Ferrell, you're probably not going to be as into this movie as other people might be. But although it was cheesy and schlocky here and there, and poor Ghost of Christmas Past, I feel like she's thrown away on a sex joke. She's a great character. Good for her for getting in bed with old Reynolds and whatnot. But then they kind of just throw her out. I'm just well, it sucks that out of all the fucking ghosts of whatever Christmas, you're gonna throw away the one woman, and she wasn't a bad character either. I would have loved to have seen more. And we get a wrap up, on her, who she, what happens to her, but still, I feel like she was just kind of used as a joke. I digress. Like I said, the movie has more going for it than against it. Overall, I would like to give Spirited a high 3 out of 5. A high 3 out of 5. This film does feel above average. I mean, it could have easily been a really, really bad comedy or bad musical. I don't think so. Apparently, I'm full of hot takes this year. Maybe I'm just overly romanticizing films and all that, but I enjoyed it. I think it's a fun watch. That's all I gotta say. That was my review for Spirited. I don't know if we're gonna do any other holiday films this month, but whatever I do, stay tuned and check out whatever movie review I do. Goodbye. travelers.